What's going on, guys? In this video, I'm going to be bringing you guys a tutorial-based video, something I haven't done in a very long time. This is going to be a disarm flow based off of the assumption you failed the disarm. And although we don't want that, if it does happen, we want to be able to flow it into another technique, this case staying within the disarming realm. Now, it is more of a personal preference thing. It's something that I've devised over the years of training and teaching. So if you guys enjoy and you want to take all of it or some of it, by all means, hopefully you can add this into your repertoire. Alright, so I'm here with my partner Raiden. We're going to be working in both single stick, and I'm initially going to start off of angle 1 and then take you step by step. I'm also going to be doing all the disarms so you can see how they're supposed to be done, and then if you fail, what are you going to go to next. So initially I'm working off angle 1 here, and all I need to do is what's called a transition block. Rather than setting up a reference point here, I'm going to strike through the stick because I need it to be on the bottom instead of on top. So as I do that, I'm going to strike through and take my hand, and I'm going to try to touch and grab his hand here, his wrist, whatever I can get good contact with. Okay. Once I've established that, I'm going to come back with my stick using my hooking section here. I'm going to press it against Raiden's wrist, and I'm going to keep it nice and tight, applying tons of pressure. I'm going to slide my left hand down, grab the end of his stick, and essentially I'm going to pull his stick and push mine, creating this nice and tight situation. I'm going to roll my stick forward using the hooking section, and you're going to see that's going to take Raiden's wrist right there. Okay, now when I will disarm, I'm going to step for position. I'm going to twist, bending my arm using my elbow to smack this right out of his hand, and that would be the disarm. Now hypothetically it doesn't work. We go through the same process, bring that down, we strike, we miss, we're not in good position, or he just has a very, very strong grip that I underestimated. I'm going to flow into what's called a full circle throw. So I'm going to sneak my hand underneath the stick and up against the back of his wrist. As I do that, I'm going to add in a strike to take away the attention from my transition and into him not getting hit. So this is going to come across the midsection here. This is going to come up, be nice and tight. Now I could strike and disarm at the same time, or I can use this strike as a distraction into my next disarm. If I was just going to disarm, it's going to smack straight down, and that's all she wrote. Again, if that one fails, we go through the process. 1, 2, 3, going down. I'm going to have this across my body here, keeping it nice and tight. I'm going to go underneath the stick. Then I'm going to place my stick on top. Now, depending on how hard I crank this, depending on my partner's pain threshold, this may be enough to disarm. So it would look like this, and it would drop it straight down. In the event it doesn't happen, I do have a lock. So I'm here, I miss, follow up, I fail again, underneath, I end up on top, I press down, and he's stuck in this position. So this is kind of a stalemate. I could start to work up, but my hand's a little trapped here. But again, this also nullifies Raiden's weapon. Instead of being in a stalemate, if I want to continue to flow, because I am holding it on both ends of the stick, I'm going to release with my right hand. I'm going to hold it in my left hand. I'm going to sneak my way underneath the arm. And as soon as the back of the elbow touches my neck, I'm going to grab the stick. I'm going to stand up, and I'm going to crank this forward. So I crank that coming up. There's a disarm there. Okay, so when we do this on the other side, hopefully you can get more of a perspective. But essentially what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to make sure that I go from 1 to 2 effortlessly. Right? I don't want it to feel like a struggle where I go from 1 and then I try to worm my way through and piece my way through and make it obvious I'm still trying to disarm, and that I'm struggling. I'm trying to keep the flow in it, trying to keep the concept of flowing fresh, and I'm trying to make sure that everything that's done has some sort of distraction so I can get what I really want, which is getting rid of the stick. So I go from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4. And of course you can practice that with speed for fluidity. You can practice that, assuming you fail 1 and then really focusing on getting 2, or from 1 to 2 to 3, from 1 to 2 to 3 to 4, however that might be. But again, making sure that there's something to distract Raiden while I transition. In any other case, I'll just subtract my stick so you guys can see. In any other case that we're in a position and I just try to loop my way to the next disarm, loop my way to the next disarm, Brain won't allow that. He's going to start firing back with his legs, his head, his second hand here. If he has an additional weapon, he's just not going to let me move around the stick so freely. So I need to give him a reason not to think about that and worry about not getting hit. So it's a very simple transition, very simple flow, and it also helps you teach your brain to start thinking outside of the box, finding your way around and navigating with your stick against an opponent's stick and finding that solution to otherwise problem you thought you wouldn't have. So if you guys enjoyed that, if you think you guys can add that to your repertoire, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Until next time, catch you guys then.